You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
Macho Man Mario switching consoles up until the Switch gets here, yeah. Yeah.
And welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Couch Potatoes.
Oh shit, are we recording? Yeah.
We are recording. I'm Alex.
Macho Man Mario / Chris Morrison. Yeah.
Welcome back everybody. And we're trying out some different formats. We're trying some different stuff here. You guys seem to be really interacting with the video content, and we like playing video games and we like doing podcasts. So why don't we just merge it all together and fuck it. This might be a new version of Couch Potatoes. If it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. But if it does, fuck it. Welcome to 2025, motherfuckers. You already see from the title. Today, we're going to be talking about the new Penguin series that came out on HBO MAX, what the fuck ever. And at the same time, Chris is going to be rocking out and playing some Batman Arkham Asylum. So before we dig into Penguin, let's talk about Arkham Asylum a little bit. What is your background with this game?
This was actually the second Batman game I had played. I played Arkham City first. It was a 10 out of 10. Then I got an Arkham Asylum. Very detailed. This was the first kind of open world Batman. Rocksteady really knocked it out of the park with these games. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is probably the best series of Batman games you'll ever play. I put it right up there with the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man. Like,
I would agree.
The stories is perfect. It's congruent with with Origins. Even Origins is fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going with Asylum City and Night. So like those three games are just fantastic. The DLC was perfect for everyone. It was worth the money to get the DLC. A lot of replay value at Asylum City and Night. But Asylum, I will say, for a game that's not as sandboxed as City and Night, this is still just as fun. Like, detail in it is perfect. Kevin Conroy, all the original animated series guys.
That's what I was going to say. That's the reason I was really drawn to the game and made me purchase it back in the day. It was the voice cast. I was just like, gee, this is literally the cast we all know, love, and want.
Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 game for me.
Yeah, no, this was a game I thoroughly enjoyed growing up as well. So kind of a similar vibe between the Arkham Asylum games and actually the new Batman and Penguin universe that seems to kind of even be being created right now anyway.
Yeah, so like with a little bit more realism in the Penguin universe and the Robert Pattinson Batman, which is still right now up in the air for the number two right now. I've heard they may cancel it. I've heard he's going to be in Dune. So
I keep hearing it just keeps getting pushed.
Yeah. Oh, Robert Pattinson's working on a lot of projects too, so like that's another thing. So he's going to be in Dune Part 3, so that's going to be a big thing for him.
Okay.
I'm not sure who he's going to play in that one.
Well, yeah, let's go ahead and kick into a little bit of Arkham Asylum here. I'm sending my fingers crossed here that hopefully I don't have to fully sign in because it was saying that my account was wonky. But this just ties into what I was actually talking about earlier on the last video I released talking about the potential death of gaming. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, we won't be able to save, so we'll just this will just be. And we are back. Jeez, talk about literally having to fight with this Xbox for the last 10 minutes just to even get it to do anything. Look at the last time I even played this, though.
Oh, yeah.
2016?
I will say this opener was fantastic. He's captured the Joker. He's taken him to the asylum. So you already have the pretense that he's already there.
Right.
And with Asylum, it really sets the mood for the games.
Right. I could see that.
And you got to remember, this is a 360 PlayStation 3 game. You know, the CGI still looks good, even for a cutscene, I think. With a lot of downgrading coming around for a lot of games, I think this still looks good.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't get a whole lot of downgrading with this game, mainly because I feel like it was optimized for this generation of consoles. Now, if we were playing this on the Wii, I think we would be having a different experience.
Yeah, well, the Wii, I don't know. It's hard to port over games like this to the Wii, to the Nintendo period. So like even with the Switch now, or they try to port over Mortal Kombat 1, The Witcher and stuff, the downgrade is very noticeable. But with this, you know, it looks fantastic on any other system. So I will say they have gone down in price quite a bit. So if you get these on Steam, I think you can buy the whole fucking series for like $30.
Well, I mean, what we're playing this on now is, you know, my classic 360. The 360 in general, you can just get games like dirt cheap for this right now.
Yeah, and what's cool is it's compatible with the newest Xbox.
Oh, is it? See,
Yeah,
I didn't know they were that kind of backward compatible.
So there are select games from 360 that are backwards compatible with the new Xbox and the Xbox One S.
Interesting.
So kudos to them for, you know, porting that shit all the way through.
Yeah, really.
That's Warden shop to you.
We'll talk about it later, but I'm kind of curious how the Switch 2 is going to handle backwards compatibility when it comes out.
Yeah. God, just anytime Mark Hamill comes on, it's just like, yes!
And you know, this ain't the only DC character he does.
No, he also did Clayface, didn't he?
No, he did Toyman.
Toyman, that's right.
Yeah, Flash villain.
I'm going with him.
If you ever watch Justice League, you'll see him talking to Toyman. It's Mark Hamill. And Mark Hamill actually played Toyman in a live action.
Commissioner Gordon here.
Interesting. Oh yeah, and this is now when you gotta follow old Joker down to the end. Now we're actually in the game.
If you think about it, all right, so let's assume everyone here is between 5'10 and 5'11.
Right.
That means Batman's probably about 6'2",
Right.
not counting the fucking shoes he's wearing. And like all games do this. This is what's great. All the Batman games do this. A interactive intro throughout the whole series.
Wasn't one of the interactive intros the death of the Joker?
Arkham Knight, you are cremating the Joker.
Yes, that's what I thought. God, that character model just looks so good.
Oh yeah, they are perfect.
Now, correct me if I'm right, which definitely ties into what we're about to dig into, talking about the Penguin. Would you say that Gotham is the secret main character in any Batman property?
So what's crazy is, if you go by lore alone, Gotham is built on top of Arkham. The theme of the city of Gotham is probably the most important theme in Batman because it has an aesthetic. One of the hardest things to do is show Gotham in the daylight. So the majority of the movies we have, you rarely see it out and about in the day when it comes to a Batman situation. But with Penguin, what was great was Gotham was portrayed in the daylight. But you got to remember in the show, we were only seeing select parts of Gotham, like mostly manors outside of Gotham where the Marconis live, and then we also have the inner city at night. So if you're going to play that aesthetic, you really need to show the griminess of it.
The patient seems to be in satisfactory condition. Looks like he suffered minor lacerations, probably in the last 2
Even
hours.
character animation looks good.
I know, it's like...
Need to take my temperature? I'd be happy to drop my pants.
Now I'm surprised
Get him out of here.
we haven't seen any really, I haven't found them, action figures for these games.
Yeah, you're right. I do want to say that I think they made like a very short run or a very small collection of figures, but they did not merchandise this as much as they really could have.
Yeah, so like...
Well, I mean, and even currently, I don't feel like the merchandising for Batman right now is very high. And I mean, you have to, folks have to remember, we come from the era of Batman and Robin, where, just the idea of one new movie coming out and you had an entire toy line with 50 different Bat outfits, 10 different Batmobiles.
I don't know if you noticed this, but last time me and you were at Target, there was a re-release of the old Batman toys.
Yes, and I was very tempted to get that Boatmobile because it was only like $30.
This is what I love right here.
Killer Croc.
Just the simpleness of it. Look how great he looks.
Ooh.
What's it doing?
I've got your scent, Batman.
Come get some, motherfucker. Like, I love the...
Got your name, I got your ass.
Oh, man. And you know what's crazy? His animation, his character design develops throughout the series of the game. So by the time you get to Arkham Knight, he is just so, like, morphed into more of a gator. Like, like, if you think that looks good, you should see him later
I
on.
really need to get me some new shoes.
I mean, that looked pretty menacing, and it's been forever since I've played this, so this almost feels like a new experience story-wise. Because I remember this scene. Like, I'm not sitting here going like, whoa, the scene of... Duh, of course I remember this, but like, I don't remember all those little details of like seeing Killer Croc and all that.
Well, another thing is, if you notice, like, see the elevator?
Yeah.
The cage elevator? That's something that's 40s, 50s, you know. Gotham and Arkham, whatever you want to say, is stuck in a time period of aesthetic, but the technology's where it's at everywhere else. So, like, that's what I kind of appreciated about the last Batman movie, was when they're in the precinct, when they're in the buildings and stuff, they still have that old 50s look.
Yeah.
So, like, you're getting that aesthetic, but guess what? People still have smartphones. People still have this and that, you know. The best look of Gotham, I think, was the Batman Forever and the Batman Returns. Where it's like these giant colossal statues are built and they look like they're holding the buildings up and they're holding the archways of a fucking train up. And it's just like, that is original Art Deco 50s look. You know, that's, you know, look at the city we've built and these giant iron men we have that hold the city up with rivets and steel and sculpture all mixed together. And
oh shit.
Yeah, so like,
What? Don't you trust me?
and what's cool
Floppy
is,
neck.
and it's cool is like the secondary characters in this game play a big role.
Yeah.
So you do get like that guy, the warden, you know, that's the mayor of Gotham eventually, you know, so he plays a big role in Arkham City. And what was really fun about this game, because, all right, so if you think about this, this is the first game like this for Batman.
Right.
Before that, you had side-scrolling Batman games. You had over-the-top, you know, top-down games. One of my favorites was the Batman Forever game.
Yeah.
For the Super Nintendo. It was awful,
yes,
but it was fun.
And I actually just got, let's see, which one? Oh, just the original Batman, for the Batman movie game for NES. And that was actually really fun. It's exactly what you would expect an NES superhero game to be. It's just side scroll, press B over and over and over to, you know, punch people. But aesthetically, it's still really fun, and the soundtrack's really cool.
And you can tell they had limited body types in this game. Because look at Commissioner Gordon.
He's about as built as Batman is.
Yeah, Commissioner Gordon is not a guy you want to fucking run into. Like,
no.
He looks like a pissed off cop. Look at his face. That's years of anger.
He doesn't fill out all the paperwork.
No, he doesn't. He turns the body cam off. Like, he don't. He's like Buzz Lightyear. He turns that shit off.
Joker's loose. Alert the warden.
How helpless that other cop was. He saw it. His arms just immediately go up, and he starts like bouncing back and forth like he's a fucking Peanuts character.
And like, think about this. If you've never played Batman, if you've never watched it, this is a great kind of intro to the series. Like,
oh, yeah. And it's just a really good Joker character model. Now, if we had gotten this in Suicide Squad, I would have been happy.
If you got like a wild Willem Dafoe to play this motherfucker.
We'll see. I still just think it's such a shame that we never got that before Willem Dafoe got too old.
He'd be a great old Joker if you do Batman Beyond.
Ooh.
But no, let's just throw all that shit away.
I don't know, man. It sounds like they're kind of wanting to jump into that well again. You know, not to, you know, go too far off tangent. It says kind of make this more of a Batman DC episode. You know, they have been discussing the potential of a Batman Beyond type series or game.
Yeah.
So who knows? We very well eventually could get that. Now, are they going to be smart enough to cast Willem Dafoe in the role? Probably not, but hey, at least, because, you know, I feel like you've mentioned a few times that Batman Beyond is kind of like your favorite of the more modern Batman.
It's the best sequel of any superhero story.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Old Batman kicks ass, but like he's too old for the game.
Yeah.
And we got an original character, Terry McGinnis.
Boom!
And so, like, what I would love to see, and I know it'll never happen, Michael Keaton, old Batman, get a young guy, probably a no-name actor to play Terry McGinnis, get Willem Dafoe as the old Joker, show a flashback of Kim killing Jason Todd, and Batman having to pull a gun at the end of his game.
Yeah.
And show me the fucking suit. And what's cool is about Arkham Knight, in the DLC, you get a Batman Beyond suit. And it looks practical and it looks good. It's not a sleek design, but it is a armored design and it looks good.
I was going to ask if you'd be okay if they did an armored design one, because I just couldn't imagine them doing Batman Beyond and doing the suit exactly like they did in the animated series, because that was basically a Spider-Man suit with bat ears.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's just a wild, and like, look at the set design for this. This is shit I'm not interacting with, but it looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I could literally zoom in.
Philadelphia!
Yeah, so like, and as the games progress, it gets better.
Yeah, and, well, okay, so is this the one where you've got all the Riddler side quests?
They're in all games. So the Riddler games are in all of them.
Okay.
So.
See, that's why I guess I'm kind of conflating some of these as... There for a while, I was playing a lot of them, but there was one of the two I wound up liking more, and I put a lot more time and energy into. Man, fuck these rats. Fucking rat bastards.
But like, look how menacing this asylum thing is.
Right?
You got gurneys just left on, covered in blood, all scratched up the fuck, you know.
All scratched up the fuck.
So like, you got surveillance everywhere. You see prisoners. Look, these are guys you're gonna have to be fighting.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a little warning. If you're paying close enough attention, they'll kind of let you know, hey, there's some shit coming up to you.
Another thing too is, as you get damage, your suit shows damage.
Yeah.
So the cape will tear. You'll have pop marks on your fucking uniform and shit. So
Wasn't that one of the first games to kind of do an active mechanic where that you actually changed with that?
I'm not 100% sure, but just for detail alone, it is a magnificent thing to put in this game.
Oh yeah.
And what's cool is we're not even outside yet.
No, this is all really kind of still the intro. You hadn't even really started the game. As if you think about it, you're on a rail system right now.
Yeah.
You hadn't hit any of the open world, any of that. You're still completing story and getting started.
He's strapped in the chair. Saz has totally lost it. Wait here.
Wait here.
He won't see me.
Now,
All right, John Cena.
so story-wise for the Batman, Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz is mentioned in the original Batman movie, not the Christian Bale movies.
Yeah.
He is a serial killer. He is a horrific villain, and he's a new character technically in the Batman universe. He is a serial killer that Batman has to fucking deal with. And what's cool is he's scary. Like, that's the cool thing about this villain. He is a scary villain because every time he kills someone, he scars himself for each kill.
Yeah.
So there is a psychopathy about him. So that it's really cool. And I think that would have been really cool to add in the Penguin if they were to continue it.
So, well, since we're kind of digging into that a little bit, we'll kind of be a little bit more free-flowy about the Penguin. I've got the Wikipedia up just in case we need to, pull up to a certain episode to see what kind of bounce back and forth. But we'll kind of weekly planet this shit. Overall, what did you think of the series?
Perfect. As someone who's a big Sopranos fan, it had that feel, and I can't say this enough, but like one of the best things HBO ever made was Sopranos.
Mm-hmm. Boom!
Zaz is down, but not for long.
Bam! Right to the back of the skull.
So like, look at this character. He's all scratched up. That's every scar is a person he's killed.
Yeah.
So, but no, the Sopranos is perfect. And whoever did this, the people that did the Penguin, knew what they wanted.
Yeah.
And they took a lot from James Gandolfini's character of Tony Soprano and really put it into the Penguin. But he's still his own character, a vicious mobster. And Colin Farrell able to just meld into that was perfect. Penguin, I think, is probably the best comic book television series ever. Ever. There's not many that hit that echelon of quality. HBO, good on you for deciding to do that because you're with WB, you're with DC. Yeah, you did great. I'm not shitting on other shows like Flash and Arrow or all those. They are good for what they are. But if you're going HBO,
you do HBO.
Better do some HBO shit. And that's what they did. And like even the opener just coming up right after the end of Batman.
Yeah, looking over the city, seeing all the shit that went down because of the Riddler.
Yeah, it's the morning after the flood. He decides to go in and grab his old boss's bullshit because he knows what's coming. A power vacuum's about to hit. Anytime you get rid of a big bad, things are going to get nasty. So, for a real life example, Iraq. Once you got rid of Saddam Hussein, everything went tits up in that whole fucking region because we had a bad guy running the whole fucking game. Mm-hmm. So he kept all the other bad guys shut the fuck up. So when you get rid of them, it's just like, oh, now they're out in the woodwork.
Yeah.
And that's what was cool about. We get to see a lot of the other characters. Another show we're watching kind of similar to this is Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
Where we're seeing a mob mentality and we're seeing like, oh, let's see what happens when the bad guy leaves.
And, yeah, I mean, honestly, my overall view of the show is exactly the same. I've not been very quiet to say, both Marvel and Star Wars, after getting sucked into Disney, have just slowly throughout the years, my rabid fandom for both of those properties have kind of waned some because, I'm not. Same thing with Kiss. I'm not a fan of every single thing they do. I can love the band. They are one of my favorites. But no, they have a string of 4 or 5 absolute stinker albums.
Yeah, like Love Gun's okay, but Psycho Circus, come on. I fucking love that shit.
So it's like, I put Marvel in the same boat. They had a string of greatness. And they're just in a lull right now. So I just kind of, my excitement for Marvel, my excitement for Star Wars has just kind of died off a little bit. My love will always be there. And that's even what kind of made me even give the Penguin a shot. And something that's very interesting that I literally did not know about until I pulled up Wikipedia just for quick episode synopsis. The viewership per episode continued to grow.
Yeah.
It started with 0.24 million viewers. It ended with 0.64. 0.46. Dyslexia kicking in.
Yeah.
So they doubled their viewership from the first episode to the last. And I think that is even indicative of what you were saying in that they brought the quality to this show. Because even myself included, I didn't start watching it till episode 3 or 4. Because I was just like, I liked the Batman. I wasn't in love with it. I loved Colin Farrell. I liked Colin Farrell as the Penguin in the movie, but I wasn't sold on it. But man, you are absolutely right. The aesthetic of the show, the writing, everything from top to bottom, I have to agree, probably is the best comic book adaptation as a television show.
Yeah, so like, here's the thing. If you were to do Penguin, like they did Penguin by itself, there is no Batman.
Yep.
We've got a singular story. If you're not a Batman fan, you can like The Penguin.
Yes.
Because it is a violent crime show.
And dude, exactly what you just said there. My mother, she appreciates fantasy and comic book stuff, but she is far from a fan, but she doesn't like turn her nose up at it or anything. She sees the value and joy in it. And she likes Spider-Man and she likes Batman. I've recommended the Penguin show to her so many times because she's just like, oh, it's probably part of it. I'm like, it is, but you don't have to know it. Yeah. You don't have to know anything else other than, I said, you know who Batman is, right? She's like, well, yeah. I said, you know who the Penguin is, right? She's, yeah. I said, that's all you need to know. They tell you everything else in this show. You don't have to rely on any sort of additional knowledge, and they create such a well-rounded, exactly what you said, power vacuum story. One of the things that really drew me in was Sophia's storyline.
Sophia was great because she's an original character.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before. Trying to make fantasy characters like Joker, Penguin, Mr. Freeze, in a practical sense, is hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Making Ra's al Ghul practical in the original in the first Christian Bale Batman movie was hard, but they fucking did it.
Yeah.
Making Bane realistic is hard, but they did it.
Yeah.
Please help me.
And with this, with Penguin just being a regular gangster kind of guy.
Sorry, just the guard just hanging on like that, and Batman just walks over, grabs him by the throat. You're gonna be fine. Yeet.
Yeah. and these are one pulls too. Look at this. That's a 200. That's a 200-pound man. He just picked it up like it ain't shit.
200-pound man security guard that cannot lift his own weight to pull himself up.
No, Batman can do it because Batman is great. But the practicality of the Penguin and using someone like Sophia, an original character, as a threat is fantastic.
Yes.
She did a great job, a fantastic actress. To go from How I Met Your Mother, the mother, to being this psycho bitch is fantastic.
Was there... At what part in the series was like the selling point for you? Because I feel like every show that we wind up really liking, there's always that one scene or that one moment where you go, all right, that did it.
Yeah. The opener where he takes those shots at those kids, fuck with his car.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he has a dead body. He just killed the mob boss's son.
Uh-huh.
The conversation itself is trying to be subtle, and the guy mocks him. All right, so we see that he doesn't like to be bullied. It's a problem. He overcorrects the situation.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, he sees these little punk kids trying to rob his fucking car, try to steal his tires. And immediately, he pulls out a gun.
Yeah.
And starts firing. One kid's a little slow, and stopping himself fast enough to be like, kid, give me a hand. And he basically forces the kid into a friendship.
Yes.
In the beginning. But that right there hooked me.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, we got a maniacal character, a guy like Penguin, who we've only seen a little bit. The only time the best thing about him in the movie was him calling Batman a racist.
When he doesn't know English.
Spanish. Yeah, no Spanish. He's like, no Spanish, you fuck. But like, that's all we know about him on the preaches of the movies. And like, what's fucked up is he's forcing the kid to help him.
Yeah.
And the kid is part of criminality. He's trying to steal some tires to begin with. Keep him at his low level. And the way he gets this kid to help him and takes this kid under his wing means he has a sensibility about him.
Yeah.
So now you've just nuanced the character from a movie, from a two-dimensional character from a movie, and gave him some substance.
Right.
Which is important. And that's what hooked me. Just that right there. Just taking the kid in.
See, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit more jaded. That part didn't pull me in as much. Honestly, what got me, and the reason I said that was Sophia's arc that really kind of drew me in, is when she finally goes back to the family, and she's just like, hey, I know what you did. I know what's up. This isn't cool, and fuck you, in so many words. And they were like, oh, no. You're insane. We're going to take care of this. And she gets taken to Arkham. That whole like compilation scene of her getting tortured, her spending time in Arkham and all of that, for some reason, that was the scene to me that made me immediately go, oh, we're really fucking doing this. Because I haven't felt that uncomfortable during an intense scene about a comic book property in a very long time. But watching her getting tortured and beaten down and seeing her kind of like near the end kind of take over Arkham, it was a very cathartic and fun sequence to kind of see her go through all that and see her come out the other side being like, oh no, now I am the bad bitch.
Yeah, so Sophia is probably the best original character ever written in a DC property. Just out the gate. They vaguely mention her as the Hangman.
Yes.
So,
which the Hangman's been around for a minute. Still a newer still a newer creation, but not necessarily something original for this series.
But we find out her father likes to hang women. And she gets blamed for it. The brothers sticking around for her was a great point in the show. The flashbacks of her being like, hey, you know, we need this familial connection, you know. And the fact that he kills him in the opening fucking scene, like, is a great little first step for Penguin in this show. So like they made the show perfect because you didn't have to watch Batman.
Exactly.
And we know this is a bad character, this is a bad man. And he only gets more violent throughout the show. What I love is Sophia is
Abomination, right?
No, this is just a bad guy.
Oh. I was just like, weak Abomination, get him!
Yeah, so like,
but yeah, while he's fighting on this, no, exactly what you're saying. The arc of Penguin's aggression throughout this series really was captivating, and that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed the show, because they didn't just take it in the immediate direction of, oh no, it's the Penguin, of course he's going to do bad things. They really did a good job at literally, don't make me hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker. They did a very good job at showing a child's mentality become a child's ego on Rampage, because at no point did he ever show him being a man. It was always childlike tendencies pushed to its limit, which essentially was the breakdown of ego.
yeah.
And again, since we're being a little free flowy with this, it really got brought home. That ending scene has to be probably the most unsettling feeling I've ever had watching a show. Because again, spoilers, why are you fucking watching this if you haven't seen the show? And we're gonna bounce around. We're the fucking couch potatoes. Kiss our ass. That ending shot where his mother is a goddamn vegetable in that bed. He's got his fucking side bitch dressed up like his mother did back in the day, caressing his face, and he just goes, "We did it, Ma. We fucking did it." Oh my, I'm getting goosebumps thinking of it now. The amount of like, I want to take a shower after watching that. Which just proved to me how well done it was. If they were able to make me feel that much disgust over a person, they wrote it very well.
the nuance of him building up really crescendos with the ending scene.
Yes.
If you're going to write a villain that's practical like the Penguin, who in all of his purposes is just a gangster who's disfigured, that was fantastic.
Yes.
If this was to continue outside the whole James Gunn situation, let's say they were to continue this, if they could do that with a Penguin, imagine what they could do with Two-Face.
Oh, I was thinking, imagine what they could do with Freeze.
But like, here's the thing. So in the echelon of characters of Batman, you have the Joker, Penguin, and Two-Face, who are just people who have psychotic tendencies. Freeze, Bane, Clayface are more science fiction-y. They're bigger than they should be. They've taken some type of chemical. They like, aside from Joker, who's just a clown, but like, there's an echelon of craziness when it comes to writing Batman characters. Those big three, Penguin, Two-Face, and Joker, are just guys. They're just men. They're just a man. They're like
just a man.
But like, they are just people with psychopathy.
Right.
Freeze is a technologically advanced man who has a condition where he has to live in subterranean territories. Bane takes HGH.
And decides to fuck with the government.
Yeah, and a terrorist. But like, if you're going to make Bane into a real world situation, that's how they would do it. A super strong man who could just beat you to death.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, with so many people that have to be on like different forms of life support.
Yeah, but can you imagine
the man in the bubble?
Yeah, but like a mech suited villain roaming around in a real life situation is Arnold Schwarzenegger shooting off puns. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So like,
right.
but no, I'm not saying it can't be done. But I'm saying if you do a Victor Freeze, do the Heart of Ice story. And what I would honestly, man, and this is a hopeful kind of situation. If they do another series off the Batman, which I don't think they will, but if they did, have Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne, instead of being involved with Selina because she's left, have her involved with the redheaded girl who ends up becoming Phantasm. A daughter of another gangster he gets involved with, whose parents have died. She takes revenge from a gangster point of view because that's who she is. Her fucking family are gangsters and they get fucking murdered and she becomes a vigilante. She is the diametrically opposite of Batman. Good parents who tried to help Gotham in legit lawful ways gets murdered. He becomes a lawful sense of good. He becomes the Batman. Her parents are in criminality. They are murdered. She takes up vengeance in the form of the Phantasm. She's a woman. He's a man. It works. It's perfect. And the fact that they've thrown it the fuck away since the animated series, and we've only got a chef's kiss at the end of Justice League where she's like, "No, I'm not going to murder Terry McGinnis's family." That was her ending story. It was just like, it was great when it came out. But god damn it, give us her in a movie. Put her in a fucking movie rocking Robert Pattinson shit. Because that's another thing. She could go toe to toe with a Batman.
Yeah,
if I can get Batman, the animated character, versus Shredder from TMNT, I could get Phantasm, guys. Come on. Like,
no, and Mask of the Phantasm was the very first Batman thing I remember watching.
Yeah. It is fucking, it's a horse.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine mom handing little 5-6-year-old me that tape and being like, "You'll like Batman, here."
Yeah. Batman's great. It's just this dark character who has a fucking shiv for a hand. That was another thing too. You think he's one-handed. No, he just has a claw for a hand.
Yeah.
Which made it more menacing a little bit. But that's another character they could have done.
Yeah.
Give me an Easter egg of this redheaded woman who's running around Gotham. And it's like, just kind of tell me that she's not around for this kind of thing. She's waiting for Gotham to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
For her to come back. Maybe she has a connection to the Riddler for some stupid fucking reason.
Yeah, see, I wonder if they're going to do more with the Riddler.
I
hope they just kind of keep this little pocket reality going.
Yeah, they should. If they're smart, they fucking should.
So one other major major point in this series because, the first few episodes, well, actually, before we go into that, one aspect of the thing I really liked with Penguin versus Sophia is every episode, it felt like the tables turned. It felt like during, say, episode 5, Sophia had the upper hand.
Yeah.
And then, at the end of the episode, you realize, oh shit, Oz has the upper hand. And then by the end of the next episode, oh shit, Sophia knew that was going to happen and she actually had the upper hand the whole time. The constant back and forth was really engaging and fun. One of the major threads throughout, though, was the relationship between Oz and his mother.
Yeah, so that kind of goes into like a horror aspect for me. For him, because it's like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with all that. Essentially, to kind of summarize their major plot points, you discover that Oz indirectly, or would you say rather directly, murdered his brother.
No, he murdered both his fucking brothers. Yeah, he killed them both.
Okay. Well, I say the reason I say would you say direct or indirect is it's kind of the Manson argument. Manson never laid a hand on anyone, and Cobblepot technically didn't lay his hands on his brothers. He just locked the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're getting into the semantics that is facilitation.
Yes. But that's what we're here to do.
Is he guilty? Of course he is. He locked the door behind them. He knew the consequences of what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. Charles Manson riled up a bunch of fucking hippies. I have a conspiracy that he's a mental fucking midget and it was Tex Watson. Or like that's me.
That's a cryptic conspiracy cult episode coming a little bit later down the line.
He's one of those few cult leaders that got killed by his own cult. What's weird for me is the fact that he kills his brothers, right?
Right.
And he continues on this path of his mother's approval. The only reason he kills them is so it's just him and his mom.
Which is fucking disgusting.
Well,
the Oedipus complex this guy has.
So he's a lonely guy. And keep in mind, he's disfigured. He is a burden on his family. So as a villain, and any villain that has a deformity or is somehow pushed out the way they are, as soon as that person realizes that they're a fucking burden and they take an active role to put themselves in the center, that's a great villain arc.
Oh yeah.
So anytime that happens in a story,
side note, I hated that character model.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
No.
They go back to the original suit in the night.
Yeah, and that looked a lot better.
Yeah.
I did not like her suit or face model in this. It did not work.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway.
But no, so with the deformity aspect, it kind of plays into why he would kill his brothers. He actively takes a role in facilitating their death. Now, he didn't hold their fucking head underwater, but he did fucking close the pool water. You know what I'm saying? So, so he
consistently lied to his mother.
Yeah.
His mother.
And his mom knew.
That was the most disturbing part. And then finding out that she was taking him to that club that evening to get him murdered.
Yeah, to 86 motherfucker.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way.
And I don't know, just one of the other reasons why this show just really hit home for me and was just like, damn, this is really good, is take even that scene where, he and his mother finally have to confront both of their pasts. She was up front and she told him what was up. But even with a gun to her head, he still could not admit what he did was wrong.
No.
And it's just like that, even that just made me feel so skeezed out watching. I'm just like, damn, dude. This entire time, you have done all these horrible actions, all in the name of your mother. And now when it's down to the wire and there is essentially a gun to her head, you are still not going to release your ego to save the one person you claim you're doing all of this for.
And talk about, opposites again, with Batman and the Phantasm. Penguin and Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
He killed his family. She didn't kill anybody. Her family betrays her. he betrays his family. So that there is a viciousness that has to exist between the two. And think about this. Her brother is there for her. He's not for his brothers. He killed his brothers.
That's right. That's right.
She hated her father. He loves his mother. So there's a hardcore, like a pendulum swing from right to left to black and white. Both these people are horrible for their own reasons. The only reason most people probably like Sophia is because she's getting justifiable vengeance.
Yes, it felt rather, even though you knew what she was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
It felt cathartic to at least root for her and not Oswald, because you could see from the very start that everything Oz was doing was for ill-gotten gains. It felt
for
like
himself.
Yes.
He's very singular-minded.
It's like, even though Sophia's end goal was also for evil, it felt more justified. It felt a little bit more like, in this world of, degrees of evil, her degree of evil feels more justified.
Yeah. Well, she's taking a lawful, justifiable stance against the people who fucked her over, which is the family. He's taking a stance against a bunch of assholes who treated him like shit.
It's again that ego run.
Yeah.
And you see that even more during that train car scene where he is beating the fuck out of that old man. Or no, he shoots him, I think, first. Yeah, he just shoots him, takes his ring, and then continues to yell at him and then shoot the dead body more as it's on the ground.
Yeah, so he goes... So this... Let's talk about the characters for a second.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm jumping around a lot, but it's a very good show.
So we have the Marconi family, who was on the dine out, and we have, I forget, 2 other families.
Yeah, I'll get them pulled up here.
Of course not.
But these are Batman Year One crime families.
Yes.
Clancy Brown is the head of one family. Great fucking guy to pull for an old gangster. Mm-hmm. Mr. Krabs. What a pull.
So you got the Falcons and the Maronis.
All right, yeah, so those are the 2 big ones.
Yes.
Okay? He's playing them off against each other. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, Sophia is a Marcone.
Yes, correct.
And the Falcons is Clancy Brown and all them.
Like Carmine.
Here's what I love about Penguin. He played him off, and the only people that see through his bullshit in the entire series, if you keep in mind, are women. Yeah. Women can see through this motherfucker so goddamn fast. And
his own mother, his little side chick off and on thing. Sophia.
Falcon's wife doesn't trust this motherfucker at all.
Oh, ooh, that's a really good pull.
So women see this motherfucker.
Sorry, I was just laughing over the fact that in this game, you just turn around, take like fucking 10 bullets to the back, and like your character face is just like, yeah, that's the spot. But yeah, the women seeing right through them.
Joker's men have taken control of the
But
cell block transfer corridor.
That's not good.
The Falcones don't trust him because he's the driver.
Right.
And most of the Marconis are dead, so it's whatever's left, and he's just meandering around. They don't trust lower level guys for a reason. They're not family.
No.
So when you're trying to do the story of, middling gangsters, they pull from Sopranos a little bit.
Yeah.
With, hey, let's have an underling be the most dangerous person in the series, and that's what Penguin is. He's not he's not part of the family. He's second in charge at best. Batman's taking care of most of them, but Sophia is his biggest threat because she can see through him.
Yeah.
The Falcons can't, except for the Falcon's wife. But going into that, the viciousness of his one step up is kidnapping the Falcone son.
Yeah.
And causing a fucking war between the Marconis and Falcons. And just to add just to add something, I've had to pause it for a second.
No, you're good.
Get fucking lit up.
No. Pause it up and it's chat because you're about to die anyway.
Yeah. What they do to the son in this series was so fucking horrific. He plays it off as like, hey, you stole something from me. I'll give you your fucking boy back. Fine. Whatever. He gets his truck and he knows he's going to get ambushed.
Yeah.
He knows they're going to fucking shoot him like a dog. And so you know what he does? He douses the guy in gasoline, gives him to his fucking mother, and lights them both on fucking fire. And you talk about a scene that was fucking perfectly filmed. I knew this is, as soon as he came out wet, is covered, I'm like, oh, he's covered in gasoline. This sick son of a bitch is going to light this poor fucker on fire holding his mother. And I'm just like, warlords in Africa are going to appreciate this kind of fucking shit. It is so fucked that they did that, and I love it. I love it so much because if you're going to do it that way.
Mm-hmm. No, and I completely agree. Just the savageness in this series, and it never felt like you got a grasp on what was going to happen, or you knew who was going to win.
Yeah, the Sophia Penguin back and forth was great.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about Vic, old boy that Oz winds up nabbing up. That was part of that low-level gang. His arc really surprised me because I'll simply say they weren't afraid to do it. And what I mean by that was set up this character that you're like genuinely rooting for, that you think is gonna actually kind of stick around. They fucking murdered the son of a bitch in the last episode.
Yeah, Vic was my favorite.
Yeah.
To a point. And I know why they murdered him.
So what's your theory on that?
Vic being murdered is Penguin murdering himself.
Okay.
Vic is young. His family's been murdered by the flood. Keep that in mind.
Right.
He's lost everything. He looks up to Oz. And let me put that up. Not Oswald. Oz.
Yeah.
This humanizes the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. Which is fucked up that they do that. Stop it. All right? Like, you made him, again, just a man. Like, what the fuck? He sees Oz as a parent he no longer has.
Right.
Now, Vic's parents are not bad people. They just died. They're victims of this war that happens between superheroes and villains. That's all. And that is a great story arc in the DC situation that doesn't get played out too often. Mm-hmm. The only person that did it was Zack Snyder in the Superman movie, where we find out Ben Affleck was, his Batman character, was victimized by the fight of Superman versus Zod.
Right.
Because his people died. The people he cared about in his business died.
Yeah.
And we see that. And it's like, okay, cool. That's a great story arc for the Batman. You know, it's just like, oh, no, he has to step up now to fight this motherfucker. But Vic is the personification of everything innocent about Oz. Mm-hmm. And he's got to burn it the fuck out. It's got to go.
Yeah, that is a really interesting take. I didn't ever think about it that way, because what just wound up making me kind of honestly surprised about the whole thing was because you had, I mean, with every time you see a story like this, you know, you see it a little bit happening right now in the Daredevil series. You've got the, you know, low-level, no-name guy that eventually catches the attention of the strong, you know, boss man character.
Yeah.
They work their way up to the ranks, and they either, like, die in battle, or, you know, they slowly start taking over the business of being, like, the strong right-hand guy, and then, you know, kind of being the formidable threat, because now the main boss is kind of leaning back while his new muscle is taking care of the shit. And just for them to... I mean, they set Vic up in such a way because they already showed his loyalty to Oz. by him doing his dirty work, running around, being his go-to guy, and even abandoning his girl at the train station. Like that scene ripped me up. I'm just like, damn, he's really doing the thing. He's even leaving his girl at the fucking station, all this stuff. He's not going with her. He's making the big choice. All right, let's see what happens. And for that reward, for him to get choked out on a pier, I'm just like, fuck, this is a fucking dark show.
I think, like I said, I just see it as him just killing what would have been himself.
Yeah.
And
I never thought about it that way. That's a really good take.
he knew what was coming. Not Vic, but Penguin knew.
Right.
Hey, look, you didn't see it firsthand. You didn't see me burn that boy alive with his mother. You didn't see me choke Clancy Brown out and pull round after round in that motherfucker's body. You didn't see that. You are good. Like, you are genuinely a good guy. But I gotta tell you, man, everything after this, it's just gonna get so much fucking worse. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he knew what was coming. And I think he tried to, he gentle mercies is probably the best term for it.
Okay.
Him killing Vic was probably the best thing he probably could have done.
And that's just and as much as I do agree with that, I guess just from the fact that it's been so long since we had like such a really good, like, story driven comic book show, I'm sitting here going, no, damn it, don't kill off a really good character, continue to write them, you made a really good show.
But
at the same time, not to interrupt, but it's like at the same time, that's also an example of a really good show. I got really invested in that character to the point where I was annoyed for about 5 minutes after that scene. Like, damn it, you got rid of a really good character. Like that. That's essentially what he did to the motherfucker. He's just like, shh.
Also, here's the funny thing about this. I want to point something out about this game. So, he could see their heart rates, right? In the games, you choke them out, blah, 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 and they can't, and they go out. So, like, this guy down here, he's dead. He's on, those guys are dead. But if I go down here, see, he's 30 beats per minute. He's still alive.
Right.
If you play as Red Hood in the Arkham Knight game, they die. He fucking kills them.
Damn.
That ain't no shit, neither. Like, that is the most fun thing about these fucking games. I just wanted to point that out real quick because I thought it was so funny.
Well, it's also a common misconception that Batman doesn't kill.
Yeah.
He doesn't use guns, but he doesn't really ever say he doesn't kill. Yeah. He doesn't want to kill. That's not his goal.
In the Arkham Knight games, just because we're doing both, in the Arkham Knight games, you have a Batmobile. The Batmobile relatively weighs about 5 tons.
Yeah, of course.
It's a tank.
Yeah.
It's literally a tank. I'm doing 80 in that game, and I love tap one of these fuckers on the street, and it shocks them because they're not dead. No. A piece of metal came at them at 80 miles per hour and put them in a wall. They're fucking dead.
They are eviscerated.
Just like the Spidered Man kills people in the Spider-Man games.
The Spidered Man.
They're fucking dead. Like, I sent you a meme, a thing recently, a video of from Spider-Man 3 of him backhanded Mary Jane.
Yes.
She would be dead. She's dead.
He was using restraint.
Not really. That was a reactive fucking smack in the mouth.
Joker wants him back.
I like the fact that these guys are still healthy in prison. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously,
I mean, they have a great workout routine.
obviously
clearly.
the gym is very active at the fucking Arkham Asylum. But Vic being killed is a huge surprise, but it's also something I kind of saw coming because because of the setting.
Yeah.
What I didn't see coming was Sophia living.
Really?
I did not think she was going to make it. But the way he got her, he put her somewhere worse than death.
Yeah.
He put her back in prison. And that goes to the viciousness of him. You know, he's not dumb. You know, by all means. He plays dumb.
Well, I think that entire scene was also just really well written because, you know, their whole dynamic early on was the fact that he was her driver.
Yeah.
And they kind of recreate that as she thinks he's taking her to her death and making it like this poetic thing when in reality he sets her up to get caught.
Yeah. If anybody's ever watched The Sopranos, when a character named Adriana Lacerva gets caught and she's on a drive with a character, just throw that out there. She gets fucking whacked. And I thought that's exactly what they were going to do. They were going to Adriana Lacerva this poor bitch. And I was just like, and like everybody else I've talked to who's watched the show is like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
And well, do you think that's a good thing that they didn't go down that route?
Yes. To bring her back at some point, maybe as a side character, maybe as like a little piece of news in the background, like, holy shit, Sophia Marcone escaped prison. Someone let her out. Some say it was a person in black who snuck her out, who may or may not be Selena fucking Kyle. Like, you know.
Well, see, I was just about to lead up to that. I thought it was so cool how they made it very clear who Sophia was the entire time. You never drew those connections, even though it was staring you right in the face.
Hey, that your half sister's Catwoman.
Yeah, until like they basically just go, "Hey, you dumbass fans, don't forget that makes her half sisters." And I'm like, "Oh shit," because that would be an awesome team up.
Yeah. So, but it also would play a little bit of dynamism for Batman's character later on down the road. Like, hey, you know, I didn't have anything to do with that, but from what I understand, these fucking people are around that I might have to deal with later. I do like the Easter egg of the Scarecrow because the Doctor, he's not Scarecrow.
Right.
But he does have some shit on his desk that says that, hey, the Doctor does exist around here.
Yes.
Like, hey, I share an office with this fucking fiend. And with some other characters, this, the low-level part of it, the other families, the under families who run the streets, you know, not the Falcons, not the Marcones, but the people that Vic ramped the fuck up.
Yes.
First we get, I call it Mayor Oz. He's got him. It's in the middle of the night. He's got him. He's got a fucking cooler full of beer. And he's just like, this place is ripe for the fucking taking. The Falcons are in the goddamn ground. The Marcones are fucking hiding. I did that shit so we can all get a piece of something.
Yeah.
Make something of our own. No more two-family bullshit. No. One group, us.
Yeah.
Every fucking day.
We are family.
But like, there is no family, there's only us.
Yeah.
We're not taking orders, we're not kicking money up, we're not saying, oh, hey, we can't go here and deal drugs, we can't go here and do this. No, motherfucker. It's all in for us, which kind of mirrors a character in Daredevil, the under guy who's telling fucking Fisk to go fuck himself, which I'm pretty sure Fisk will eat him. That would be a wild thing, wouldn't it, if he just resorted to cannibalism? Hey, why is Fisk so strong? He consumes the heart of his enemies.
When I was a boy.
I ate a motherfucker. Because I'm a motherfucker eating motherfucker.
Boom, boom, boom.
Just like beating that boy to death. James Gandolfini's son. I'm pretty sure, spoiler alert, when we talk about that show, I'm pretty sure, this is a theory of mine, that's his son. That under guy, under Fisk, that's his boy. He's like a bastard son.
That's like Fisk's actual son.
Yeah, I think that's his bastard son. And he just doesn't know it.
That'd be funny.
No, but Vic being killed is probably the most heartbreaking thing in a show for a while for a lot of people.
Don't cut yourself on the sharply observed portrait.
Oh, this is another part of the Riddler trophies.
Yeah.
His name's Sharp.
Yeah. I was trying to think about that because I saw the capitalization on Sharp. I was like, What character's name was Sharp?
Over here.
But even though like those kind of characters come and go and stuff, just seeing Vic go so fast, it felt like we were at the beginning of his character arc, and that we were going to get, you know, some big, you know, emotional ending for him later. And it was just kind of like, yoink.
What I liked was during the time of like Sophia going against Oz, she teams up with Falcone after his wife and child are killed.
Right.
And we're getting like, oh, okay, this now it's two big bads. But before that happens,
Said something about Joker's army coming through the
they have a little get together at the house.
Yeah.
And this is what I love. If you're going to call someone a villain over and over and over and call them fucking crazy over and over, don't be surprised if they do some crazy psycho shit.
Just saying.
They're going to fucking do it. Like,
They had someone with them.
she's technically, she's the only villain who was forced to be a villain.
Good.
She is just a philanthropic woman who did charity work. And then you guys did this to yourselves. You
Sorry, buddy.
tried to light this witch on fire and got mad when the fucking embers burned your town down. Like, you are the assholes in this situation. The only fact that that little girl lived is so she could have an innocent person to talk to.
Yeah.
That was it. And I loved that. Let me just kill everyone in this fucking house. Let me just kill everyone that has just slighted me in the smallest.
Love it.
And what I loved is she left one guy alive, woke his ass up, and said, hey, boot and rally the soldiers. I'm talking about our guys.
Yeah.
And then she has that fucking conference room meeting with all of them. And like, here guys, here's a sack of motherfucking money. All this money is yours, but I need you to understand something. I can't have anybody betray me. And then the guy she kept alive for 5 minutes, she blew his fucking brains out.
Yep.
And she's like, this is what I'm talking about. You see this cocksucker? He fucking betrayed me. I just left him alive long enough. I killed his wife and kid, by the way. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know?
I'll do it again.
I'll do it again. But money. Money. You know, this is what keeps the fucking business alive, you cocksuckers. Like, go out there and make some motherfucking money. And like, that's what I liked about her. And like, to say Oz is redeemable, it stops when he kills Vic.
Yeah.
She stops being redeemable when she starts torturing his mother.
Yeah.
And is like forcing him and her to have this conversation where she tells Oz, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. Ooh.
And like,
What a scene.
that right there, that destroys her redeemability. That destroys it. Because now she did the one thing that went too far. She didn't kill an innocent guy that she was, you know, grooming to be like part of the group. She took a man down so far who did so much horrible shit, and she became that thing. She became that villain that Oz was like, see, this is what she really is.
But is she really a villain for exposing the truth?
For what she did, for the pretense of what she did, it was torture.
Because again, I'm not justifying actions. Yes, duh. These are all villains.
No, torture's
doing
fine.
Horrible things.
Torture's fine, people.
But what I am saying is
the opinion of Something Good Network is torture is okay.
Yeah, fuck it. But no, so it's like, yes, in all shape and ways, all of this is evil. But it's like, however, in this pantheon of evil, is it truly bad for this woman to be basically, yes, tied up, mother and son, but basically just being like, fuck both of you. Tell him the goddamn truth, and you tell her the goddamn truth. You're a bunch of fucking monsters. I hate you both, and I want you both fucking dead. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I don't, yes, it is he evil villain, but I don't see that as too much of her no point of return. Honestly, I think her no point of return was her overall actions after getting everyone on board with the money. Because during the scenes with her rallying the troops and being like, yo, all this cash can be yours. Let's go. Let's be in it to win it. everything she was doing there was pure. But whatever happened, because it was something that she did that one of her co-conspirators was even like, what are you doing? And she kind of had a breakdown moment where she was about to disband everything. Whatever that action was, I felt like that was her no point of return. Oz, I felt like he never had one. Ever since he killed his brothers, he had his no point of return. Bat signal.
Disable the Batmobile's countermeasure system.
I saw the alert. What's wrong? Where are you?
I'm outside the Arkham Mansion. Harley Quinn probably triggered the alarm. If she's still got Gordon with her,
That bitch is trying to probably hotwire my goddamn car.
Now you talk about another character that could be added as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic.
Harley Quinn's.
Yeah.
Just have her, don't put her in full Quinn mode yet. Just have her as that psychiatrist.
Yeah, this.
But at the same time, Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
She's my Robert Downey Jr. No one else needs to play Harley Quinn at this point other than Margot Robbie.
I think she still would have been, like, they still could have pulled her. They still could have pulled her.
Yeah. I mean, have her just play another, but I
No,
feel
play
like
her.
she just needs to be that.
I think it's fine to take a person and have them play the same character in another fucking ownership of the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, J.K. Simmons.
so like going back to we were talking about Batman Beyond. It would be cool to see an old Michelle Pfeiffer, Selena Kyle.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I guess it,
Yeah, but back to Penguin, like, the reason I see it's irredeemable because that's not her. Her mentally torturing someone is not her thing.
Right.
Killing for killing's sake, for justifiable reasons, that's different. She killed those people because they slighted her. She just grabbed this old woman off the fucking street because it would torture Oz.
Yeah, but if
This is not a physical act of murder, which she could have done at any time.
Right,
This
right.
is, I would torture you, kill her in front of you, and then kill you, you piece of shit. Like there's a nuance to killing someone that way. Like,
Chris is like, trust me, there's a nuance to killing people.
well, it's like the saying is like, oh, if when I kill you, they'll never find the body. Okay, that's kind of lame. All right, no,
I want them to find the body.
My thing is like, no, they're going to find pieces of you for months. 3 months exactly, and 2 of those months you're going to be alive. Like, that's threatening. See, that's scary. If I said that to you, you know, it's like, oh no, they'll find pieces of you for a couple months, but a couple of those months you'll still be alive while they're finding pieces of you. See, that's scary.
Yes,
Okay?
that's scary.
That's not like Jason coming out of fucking woodwork and killing you with a machete, just a one-time go. No, I'm talking about, no, we're going to be finding pieces of you all over fucking town. Okay? Like,
Let's be real with this.
I'm going to Kobe your fucking fingers into a trash can in front of the police station. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking scary.
That's scary.
Yeah. But that right there, I don't know. To me, it seemed like out of character for someone who just murdered a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
To torture the guy when you're just, her act of justice is killing. Just killing. Not, she didn't torture those people. She just killed them.
Yeah. Very merciful kills, rather.
Yeah. So the fact that she wants to torture him first and then kill him is out of character. That's what it seems to me as
Okay.
irredeemable.
All right, I see that.
So she's now going to that Oz side of justice. See, Oz's side of justice is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's childlike. It's pedantic. It's fucking trivial.
Yeah.
And it's chaotic as fuck. Hers is very justice driven.
Methodical.
But like, to go down that path is to go down the path of your enemy.
Right.
And that makes you not redeemable anymore. Technically, she's a hero in most part. You know, she's killing people who have slighted her and has ruined her life and put her in a form of torture. She is justified in killing. Oz, no. Yeah, Oz ain't seeking justice. Oz is fucking crazy.
And I think that's just what makes him such a good villain, too.
Yeah. And to think about this, it's the Penguin. In all intents and purposes, this is just the Penguin.
Yeah.
No bigs, no big thing.
And something else I really did enjoy about this series was the fact that, ooh, you got your upgrades. The thing I really did enjoy about this series too was it picked up immediately, the day after, like you said, the day after, the big Gotham flood, thanks to the Riddler. And it ends, with that very disturbing, creepy scene. And as it pans out from the window, for the very first time, you get any sort of actual Batman reference, and you see the bat signal light up the sky, and then it goes dark. And the reason I think that works so well is it goes to show and prove that there is so much shit going on in Gotham that you don't need a Batman movie to showcase all the bullshit that's going on. Batman is one guy. You got the MCU, where in New York, you've got Batman, Daredevil, all these street level heroes dealing with people like Kingpin and folks like that. Batman is one guy, and you've got a city full. You've got more crooks than you've got good people. You've got all this bullshit going on, and you've got one guy trying to police it all. There's gonna be shit going on that Bruce will never know about. There is prime real estate for those Penguin shows, for all these extra shows, and without them having to immediately dive right in and be like, oh, and here's Batman with it all. No, fuck off. Bruce is dealing with some other shit. Tell the story. That way, when we get to a Batman story, we don't have to wait and tell this big 3-movie long arc to get us to a good Penguin. We just saw the Penguin's major origin story. Now he can play a small role in the Batman movie, and it'd be really cool, and it work out, and we can focus on a better story and not have to worry about the Penguin's backstory.
No.
And hell, let me see if I can do a little something on this. What the hell? Where's Jump? If I can remember all my jumps on here.
Now it's your turn to play.
Yeah. No,
That's going to be hard for you to talk. I've had my hard time to talk, to concentrate.
It's your turn, motherfucker.
So, one of the things I really did love about the series is it held to the standard of being a gangster series. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it felt like it wasn't some super villain running around fighting a superhero.
Right.
Penguin being Penguin. And think about this for a second. The amount of days between him robbing and killing Marconi to the days it takes to the end of the series is in the span of about 2 weeks.
I was just about to say, it seemed like it was like 2 weeks long.
Yeah, so like, if we go back and watch the series, we could probably count how many days. Because like, at most it's a month. Because one thing, he's gathered groups of people to sell drugs. He's gathered groups of people to farm the drugs.
Right.
And set up a network. And during this time, it's all character development. It's all character, advancing. One is Vic. In the beginning of the series, we find out that Vic has a bully of sorts. Another guy who kind of harasses him a little bit. And it's foreshadowed that the guy sees what Vic's doing and wants a piece of it. And Vic has to kill him.
Right.
And does. And that was a more surprise to me than anything, was Vic killing that guy out the gate. That surprised me more than anything.
Really?
Because he leads him down this alley. He's like, Oz, will have you, blah, blah, blah. And then he's standing there, and he's like, here, wait here. And he turns around, and you can see the stress on Vic's face, where he just pulls out a gun and shoots that dude in the fucking head. Right?
Right.
And it's so surprising that happens.
I don't know. It seemed like that was just going to be part of like his development, though.
I saw it, but like the way they shot it to be such a stressful fucking thing for him.
Yeah.
It just seemed like, oh fuck, he was going to shoot this dude in the stomach and leave him dying in the alley. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, true.
A very fucked up way to kill somebody.
I guess that is true.
But Vic was cool with it. That's what I like. Vic was cool.
Well, see, and that's what I liked about the character, and that's why I was really annoyed that they wound up not doing anything much with him, because it seemed like he was ready to rock. You know, he was ready to roll with it. You know, he was ready to do what he needed to do, and I guess just for Oswald just kind of getting rid of that just made me go, me.
Well, one of the first things we see Vic do early on is you let Batman die.
Yeah, I had no life left, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be pointless.
Speaking of dead Batman, rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Hell yeah, man! What a run! What a run! Fun fact: before the creator, one of the two creators of Batman died, he saw Batman Forever and said Val Kilmer was the best Bruce Wayne he'd ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I bet that had to make him feel nice, at least.
Was the
Okay,
best
that's not the way to go either.
He was the best representation of Bruce Wayne.
Okay, I mean, maybe. That's up for debate, I would say.
I imagine what he'd say about some other characters, though. Like, why is this blonde woman frothing at the gash?
Frothing at the gash.
Frothing. Frothing.
That's still
like milk in a cup. Just frothing at the gash. But come on, you're the greatest detective. Figure it out.
I'll see.
I love watching those people play video games. But with Vic going out and Sophia getting arrested, Cobblepot technically winning the whole goddamn thing.
Right.
I would love if they were to bring Robert Pattinson back. Would you want him to be brought back much later, or would you want him brought back within the confines of the way they did Penguin to Batman? Where like, hey, he shows up like a week after the whole thing with Penguin.
I don't know. I mean, kind of like what I was saying before, you know, Gotham is so big. We don't have to have Batman, Bruce Wayne as part of every little thing, you know?
But I'm talking about for the next Batman movie.
Oh, just for the next Batman movie?
Yeah, where would you set it? Would it be like a year after Penguin's rise? Would you set it like...
I don't know. That is a tough one, if I'm being honest. That is a good one, though. You know, honestly, let's just keep the story going. Let's pick it up right where the end of the Penguin series left off.
With a light flying in the sky?
Yeah, let's see what that light was. It's probably going to be something completely non-Penguin related, but let's go a different route with it. Instead of the Batman movie being about the Penguin, have it be about something completely different. We don't even talk about Oz in this entire movie, because Oz is just fucking off in the background. Batman's got other shit to worry about. So I just feel like we could continue with these pocket realities and then eventually Batman run into everything going on.
I would love it if they were to show it as background material, right? Like, the cops can't help with the situation. He's investigating something, but they can't do anything because, you know, we're dealing with Cobblepot's bullshit. We're still dealing with the problems with that explosion that happened in the series.
Yeah.
It basically blew up a fucking block. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, deal with those situations.
Right.
It's hard to say. What I would love is if you find out that light in the sky is maybe the district attorney has been taken hostage. And we get Robert Pattinson's character failing to save him, and he turns into Two-Face.
That would be interesting.
That would be a cool intro to Two-Face.
Would they be trying to do too much by doing that?
I'm saying, like, have him get hard. Like, my first act thing for that would be the district attorney getting mauled and turned into Two-Face, but he doesn't become Two-Face till the end of the movie.
Okay, he just kind of gets incapacitated.
Like, Act 1, he gets burnt up and he's in a hospital, and Robert Pattinson is just like, oh, I didn't do enough, blah, blah, blah. He's beating himself up. You know, he didn't do enough to save him.
Right.
And then while this is going on, we have another villain he has to deal with in the Act 2 and 3.
Right. Yeah, okay, that would be definitely setting up
I would do
universal line.
I would do a Poison Ivy character who's a fucking eco-terrorist. You know what I'm saying?
See, I've often wondered why they haven't done her yet as some sort of eco-terrorist or like save the, environment, tree hugger.
I think it's because Uma Thurman did such a great job.
Yeah, potentially.
Her and Arnold Schwarzenegger just ate up that fucking screen, bro. She does such a good job with her wide eyes.
That's just such a weird movie, though. I feel like we can do so much better, though.
Oh no, you can. You can. I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, I thought you were being serious because you do have a very bizarre love for that movie. So
it's fantastic.
And well, that's why I'm just saying.
Movies like that and The Amazing Colossal Man should be on the Criterion Collection.
Now I know you're being good.
Come on, man, they're fucking with your car. Be like Oz and pull out a gun. Take one under your wing.
Yeah, no shit. That would actually be the shit if all of a sudden you just hear boom. God, I forgot about these controls. Come here.
X.
Well, 'cause I started trying to do the other things it was saying.
Oh,
and
the
I'm
special
like,
takedown.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah.
You gotta build that in the combo. I will say the fighting mechanics in the Arkham Knight are so much more fun.
And I think that's the one I wound up. Is that the other one I have, or do I have City? I think I wound up liking City more.
I may need it.
It's a cool looking Batmobile.
Yeah, not it being all fucked up, but yeah, it's a cool looking Batmobile. Yes, my explosive gel. I remember this.
Yeah. So what would
Looks like there was a scuffle.
what are some things you probably would have changed in the show?
I would have kept Vic alive, if I'm being completely honest.
I need to isolate
But outside of that, not really, because there was a whole lot that honestly surprised me that they did. I was not expecting them to go as extreme with some of the aborted. No, not abort. Do I just keep walking?
Just keep looking around.
Okay. I was like, do I have to like also do something else with this? It feels like it wants me to do more. But no, it honestly didn't disappoint me. They went really extreme with some of the stuff. They went really intense. No complaints from me, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm right with what you said. Best comic adaptation to a TV series so far.
And what I like is, because we're watching Daredevil still, I think Daredevil's on that same quality. Like,
It is.
For what we've seen so far.
But it's still Disney-ified, for sure.
Yeah. I know Penguin got marked as a mini-series, but have you heard anything about, like, a season 2?
Not immediately, but I would be very surprised if they did not continue this. Like, even though James Gunn was like, yeah, that's not going to be part of my universe, DC has always been a lot more quick to do multi-universe things. I don't think Gunn would be upset with... I'm doing something wrong here. I don't think Gunn would be upset with them being a pocket universe within everything. So I don't think they're going to get rid of it entirely, personally. What else do you want from me?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to come back to it. I think they're just going to leave it as it is, like a one shot.
Really?
Until the next movie comes out, whenever that is.
Yeah,
2027 probably.
Yeah, I don't know. That's getting close. What's going to come out first, Batman 2 or Spider-Verse 3? Both of those have been like delayed beyond an inch of their life.
I don't know, man. I think the Spider-Man franchise is pretty much dead in the water right now with Doomsday coming out. I don't think they're going to be doing any Spider-Man movies for a while.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man's going to be... there's going to be a movie coming out between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, that's been officially announced. It's going to be called Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah.
Where he kills.
Well, that's what I'm sitting here going. I'm like, that's a shitty idea for them to be using that as a premise of the movie. That was a very much hated comic series.
I don't know. I don't see anything coming out in the future. that is going to be as good as, like, TV wise, the big one.
Yeah.
What I like about some of these is like, oh, go back.
Well, that was me pressing a button.
Are like the goons talking.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, if I see the Batman, I'll kick his ass, blah, blah, blah. And it's like you just appear behind him and choke him the fuck out.
That's the Batman.
In Arkham Knight, they talk about the other cities.
Yeah.
They talk about, hey, at least we ain't in fucking Metropolis with Big Blue. And it's just like, yeah, because he'd fucking stomp your goddamn guts out with one fucking pinky. And they talk about Central City with the Flash.
Oh, see, I missed that part.
Yeah, that's in Arkham Knight.
Yeah, so I have no idea what I'm doing here, and now I'm starting to remember why I switched over to the other game. I have a feeling this may have actually been the area. I was just like, nope, fuck this. Well, what other thoughts do we have on the Penguin? Because like I said, I hope it comes back, but like you're saying, I would not be surprised if Gunn was just like, nope, we're not doing this anymore. I'm glad y'all had fun.
It's a 10 out of 10 series for me. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a big Sopranos fan, and a lot of people that I know that are really appreciated the series. The parallels between Penguin and Tony Soprano like felt good.
Yeah,
Because,
it was a very well-grounded
because
series.
he's a large, scary man. So
What the fuck? I looked at that 5 damn times! I looked at this! Fuck this game. You saw me look at that. There's video proof. I walked all around. Reconnect your controller. This controller is a piece of shit anyway. No, seriously, that's why I have 2 controllers.
But perfect series, perfect game.
The security doors are locked.
I know you're struggling a little bit, but it's okay.
Way around to get back on Gordon's trail.
Yeah, it's one of those games I actually have to pay attention to. You've played this game a whole lot more than I did. You saw my completion levels and how long it's been since I played this. I actually have to be listening to this game. That was one of the benefits of when you were playing it. You're just like, yeah, I know this like the back of my hand. I'm like, fantastic. It's a one-player game. So yeah, fantastic series, but yeah, that's where I'd start using my explosive gel, but maybe we'll hold on to that till next time when Chris can continue to school me on how to actually play video games, because I'm a collector, he's a gamer. But if you like what we do here, definitely make sure to hit that follow, hit subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we'll be back talking about some other bullshit because we are some nerds and we've been liking Daredevil, and we actually got some requests for us to talk about Andor. So, yeah, we'll probably wind up talking about Andor as well. But for this episode of the Couch Brotatoes, I've been Alex, and Chris, do you have any sort of final thoughts?
There ain't no Chris here, brother, only Macho Man Mario. Let me tell you something. Check out Alex and his review of the Switch 2, and they're fucking bullshit. Check it out now. Oh man, if I could get Bowser in the squared circle, I'd get a 10 count. I know I would.
You've been listening to the Something Good Network. If you liked what you heard, you can follow us on Instagram, and check out the other great shows on the network. Link is in the episode description.